So now, whether he fires or not, I'm taking care of that hand. And I'm staying in the pocket, and I'm moving into the range. You guys understand?
Yes, sir.
So I'm talking about our jab catch drills, right? And so we look at the concept like jab catch jab, right? Where I jab, I catch, I jab, right? And of course we're talking about this with gloves, but like looking at this motion here. And the big mistakes that we see, right, is that people stay in the range for where they're punching for the glove, where they're shooting for the glove, shooting for the glove, shooting for the glove. And the problem that happens here, one of the ways I test this, right, is I'll fire that and see if they even get here. If I know for sure they're not even gonna hit me, I think you and I did that once, right? I leave this out so they can get that feel of like, boom, oh shoot, I'm not even close. Now Matt's got really long arms, so it's not really applying here, right? But if Matt had shorter arms, let's say, right, pop, and that just stops right there, he knows, okay? Because it also lets me know whether or not I you can keep my hand up. But if we stay in this correct range, I definitely have to keep my hand up. So this is where it goes back to like number one, this is a form of a trigger drill, right? Because there's two triggers going on. Number one, he's triggering off my shot and I'm triggering back off his. Does that make sense? Number two, this is going to help you learn not to send your jab and drop your hand, right? Because of the trigger, ooh, I have to have this up here or I'm in trouble. So if I wind up doing something like, boom, if I'm that guy, I just take that in the chin, okay? Now those advancing jabs that we did earlier, that's for starting at this range here, where I have to move in with the advancement to get in there. Does that make sense? So I don't necessarily start right in the range. I need to be just outside of the range so I can work my footwork of coming in, and that becomes 1 and a 2 and 3. Does that make sense? That takes us to the range of the in the pocket process. In the pocket meaning that I'm staying here in the pocket where we can both, I can hit him and he can hit me, right? So that we're not running all the way around the room because we may not have that kind of range. So I move in, winds up being a double trigger and in the pocket, okay? This should not be pop, 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 at least not first a day, right? We move in and then we stay in that range. Cool?
Sure.
All right, now we talked about the concept of this hand here. Let's take this to the next place, right? Is this only functional when he throws that jab back at me? No, right? So if he doesn't wind up throwing this jab, if he just blocks but doesn't wind up throwing the jab, now this becomes 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? Depending on what combination. So maybe it becomes 1, 2, bam, 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 depending on whatever we're doing. So if we're exchanging, let's say a 3 count. Okay, so with the trigger, the jab, right? So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, correct? But if he doesn't fire the jab back, now this is a trap. Keep your hand up,
Sorry.
right? Because I'm getting used to having that hand there because the trigger teaches me to have this ready. So now, whether he fires or not, I'm taking care of that hand. And I'm staying in the pocket, and I'm moving into the range. You guys understand?
Yes, sir.
So we kind of want to work that a little bit with that jab catch. No matter what variation combinations that we use. But if you're not focusing on entering into the pocket, if you're not focused on staying in the pocket, if you're not focused on firing off the triggers and looking at your target instead of their hands, you lose the purpose of all this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's make sure that we're careful with it. All right, and just be cognizant of all the different pieces. Okay, thanks, brother.